Hello, everyone. As we approach the end of the year, we would like to wish everyone a happy new year and a happy holidays. In our final webinar for the year, we are going to reveal the possible blockchain trends for 2021 and take a look back at the key happenings of 2020. And we also have a special bonus for you. I'm going to reveal what the experts here at Empire Global predict to be a key event that will shape 2021. I'm Pam Sullivan, webinar producer for Empire Global, helping you navigate the cryptocurrency world. If you have any questions about what we cover here today, the email address on your screen is the best place to send them, info@empireglobal.partners. We have representatives standing by to respond quickly and confidentially. Lionel LaRoque is a leading expert on the topic of cryptocurrency, and he develops the content for all of Empire Global's webinars. Lionel is well known across the globe as an expert in the cryptocurrency, online gaming, and international business space, representing thousands of companies. Lionel is Senior Managing Counsel for Empire Global Partners, and he is legal counsel and advisor for hundreds of companies in over 40 countries. Empire Global Partners is an international consultancy that has served clients from all over the world with a network of attorneys, accountants, and consultants who are pioneers in strategic legal planning for online casinos, banking, and cryptocurrency. They represent hundreds of cryptocurrency companies and several cryptocurrency exchanges where top tokens are traded. Be sure to check them out online at www.empireglobal.partners. All content provided here is for informational purposes and is not to be substituted for legal advice. Cryptocurrencies are a highly regulated sector, and it is essential that all steps you take when dealing with cryptocurrencies in any capacity or while operating a business related to cryptocurrencies is in compliance with the law. It is highly recommended to get in touch with your legal team about your particular situation and jurisdiction. 2020 has been a very happening year for the blockchain sector and cryptocurrencies in particular. This year saw the release of several new cryptocurrencies, the explosion of the price of Bitcoin, and the year ended with some regulatory hurdles for one of the most popular cryptocurrencies, Ripple. So before we go ahead, let's take a look at what happened last year and what are the key changes in the crypto world. First, in 2020, we saw the rise of decentralized exchanges, or the so-called DEX. Decentralized exchanges became very popular because they removed the need for a trusted central agency, and they could function independently with the existence of two parties, the buyer and the seller. They ensure faster transaction times and provide more choices in terms of cryptocurrencies that can be traded. The decentralized exchanges are now some of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges and are now almost equally popular as centralized cryptocurrency exchanges. The next trend which saw a rise was decentralized finance, or DeFi. DeFi took the world by storm when it entered the mainstream, and it was able to capture the imagination of crypto enthusiasts with the promise of better return and regulation-free trades. DeFi opened the horizon for cryptocurrency trading, and the sky was the limit. Terms such as stablecoins, liquidity pools, and yield farming became the in thing in the DeFi world. In a very welcome development, Bitcoin reached new heights towards the end of the year where the pandemic took center stage. Bitcoin has now stably placed itself above the $20,000 per coin barrier. The strength of its price is expected to continue, and the growing acceptance of cryptocurrency as a part of the financial system means that several people now consider them as a haven for investment opportunities. And this brings us to the next part of our discussion of what are the trends that we expect for the new year in the arena of cryptocurrencies and blockchains. The first trend that we expect is that the global market of cryptocurrencies will grow. As cryptocurrencies with large market caps such as Bitcoin and Ethereum become more acceptable as an investment medium, they will continue to increase in value. The latest trend suggests that they are now considered safe havens, which means that more investors are likely to view them as safe investments in times of crisis. This means that people, instead of choosing relatively popular options such as gold or any other precious metal, or even the US dollar, now choose cryptocurrency for their investments. A second trend that we expect in the upcoming year is that the retail market will be powered by new investors. The retail market in cryptocurrency until now has been the playground of a few big players, while very few new retail investors joined with significant investments. This is expected to change, and now it is expected that the retail market will be powered by new investors willing to put in even higher sums of money. We also expect that the DeFi will become mainstream, and the traditional player in the finance sectors, including banks and traditional finance companies, will also enter the DeFi market. This means that we would have established players vying with the new players in the DeFi market to occupy a part of the market share. With DeFi becoming mainstream, we can expect more investments coming into the sector and also more innovative products coming up in the industry. As with any other sector in the financial services industry, when new players are coming into the industries and when there is interest of the common public, the government takes a big interest in regulating that industry. As new retail investors are coming into the cryptocurrency market, and also in the DeFi sector, it is expected that governments will bring in new regulations across the world to regulate the use of cryptocurrency and blockchain, both as a medium of exchange and investment, and also in the fintech sector. This might mean that we will have new regulations governing cryptocurrencies, and also the functioning of decentralized finance products in many countries across the world. Whether that again starts a process of jurisdiction hunting with the lowest level of regulations, as happened for the cryptocurrency exchange sector, is something which will be seen. But because companies are now willing to deal more directly with the retail sector and spend on legal compliance, many are expected to adhere to the new regulations, which are expected to come up in many jurisdictions across the world. We also think that initial liquidity offerings, or ILOs as they are called, are here to stay. These were initially considered as a super risky venture, but it is expected that they will acquire more acceptance considering the rise of the DeFi and the popularity of decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges. Combined with the growth of specialized platforms such as Uniswap, ILOs are now increasingly seen as an alternative to initial coin offerings, or ICOs, and the market is expected to support the growth of ILOs, at least in the next year. The governments and central banks around the world are also looking at the growth of cryptocurrencies, and as the pandemic pushed the growth of digital transactions across the world, governments are now increasingly interested in releasing their digital currencies. There's also a school of thought in central banks that fears the growth of private digital currencies. This may encourage governments to take their first step to regulate these cryptocurrencies and digital currencies. We expect that next year we'll see the launch of many centralized bank digital currencies, presumably to take back control by the central banks in their own hands, rather than allow the market to function independently. The central banks also wish to protect their power of controlling money supply in the economy, and we may see CBDCs, or the central bank digital currencies, pushed by the central banks in many jurisdictions across the world. With the popularity of digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, and decentralized finance products, we have also seen the rise of cybercrimes and hacks and fraud growing across the world. We expect that with more people joining the cryptocurrency and blockchain sectors, there will be a growth of fraud and cybercrime, and criminals will target cryptocurrency-linked ventures such as exchanges and DeFi platforms even more. Users who have significant cryptocurrency assets are also expected to be targeted, and it would be prudent that users take steps to protect their investments and also to boost their cybersecurity. We can presume that in the next year we will see more hacking attacks and more cybercrimes, particularly those targeted at the cryptocurrency sectors, both on the side of the service provider, such as exchanges, as well as the user end. We also expect that with the growth of cyber attacks and online security issues, companies that are willing to implement blockchains in their business use cases and internal transactions are likely to select more secure options. Two of these options are private blockchains and zero-knowledge proof technologies, which are expected to get popular in the next year. Private blockchains are internal blockchains or permission-based blockchains that companies implement for in-house transactions. The zero-knowledge proof allows the syncing of information without sharing sensitive data within the parties and is expected to become mainstream and a part of new technologies to be adopted by companies. While zero-knowledge proof has immense use cases, what was holding it back is the development of adequate technology and applications. But we expect this hurdle to be absent in the next year as new products in this sector are being released. And finally, for our bonus prediction for the upcoming year, the experts here at Empire Global believe that the future of initial coin offerings, or ICO, will be shaped by how the Ripple dispute is decided. The Ripple case has shaken the world of ICOs, and particularly of cryptocurrencies which were pre-mined and then sold by a centralized player. In the future, it's expected that pre-mined cryptocurrencies, similar to those like Ripple, may see a decline if the decision of the court goes against it. Similarly, mineable cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin may see an ascent, and they might be considered as investments for the future. This is a trend which we will keep an eye on, as it has the potential to affect the price of cryptocurrency assets in the market, and there might be a sudden rush towards purely mineable cryptocurrencies, since they might be considered as utility tokens or digital coins, while the other cryptocurrencies, which were distributed from a centralized source, might be considered as securities. We also expect to see wild swings in the market for similar pre-mined cryptocurrencies, and we hope that this situation will only stabilize after a firm decision is received from the court in the SEC case against Ripple. And so that is all from our end, and as always, Empire Global is your team of experienced and competent legal professionals with years of experience in the cryptocurrency sector, and they are here to answer your questions. Be sure to submit questions to info@empireglobal.partners, and that will come directly to our representatives who monitor this email 24/7. And we would love to connect with you on social media as well. We're on Facebook at Empire Global Partners, Twitter at Empire Globals, Instagram at Empire Global Partners, and we are also on YouTube. On behalf of Empire Global Partners, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again in 2021.